Last week's hearing provided really the first opportunity for the American people to hear about the attack directly from the security officials that were on the ground. Today, we'll be seeking answers on the role of the federal national security and counterterrorism agencies and officials played in intelligence gathering, security planning, and response to the attack. And I want to thank each of our witnesses for joining us voluntarily here today. And I'm grateful to all of you and the employees of each of your agencies, including the National Guard units, who continue to assist in protecting the Capitol today. We appreciate their continued efforts to safeguard our national security. And while there are still many unanswered questions about January 6th, it's clear that this violent, coordinated attack was the result of a massive and historic intelligence failure. Today, our committees will once again examine the systemic breakdowns that led to this terrible attack, and particularly how our intelligence and national security experts failed to see it coming. This is not a new problem. For years, I've been raising the alarm about the growing domestic terrorism threat with the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and other key agencies, and their continued failures to adequately and effectively align our counterterrorism efforts to address the threats posed by domestic extremists. But the January 6th attack must mark a turning point. There can be no question that the domestic terrorist threat, including violence driven by white supremacist and anti-government groups, is the gravest terrorist threat to our homeland security. Moving forward, the FBI, which is tasked with leading our counterterrorism efforts, and the Department of Homeland Security, which ensures that state and local law enforcement understands the threats that American communities face, must address this deadly threat with the same focus and resources and analytical rigor that they apply to foreign threats such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Today's witnesses are uniquely qualified to discuss the intelligence that was produced in the days leading up to the attack that officials missed as they assessed the likelihood of violence on that day, and why our intelligence community failed to heed the crystal clear warnings that were broadcast on social media and publicly reported in the days leading up to the 6th, that a violent attack on the Capitol was likely and imminent. We also need answers about the operational failures that terrible day, especially the response to secure the building once it was breached. I'm pleased that we have representatives of both the Department of Defense civilian leadership and the National Guard to help us understand why it took several hours for the National Guard to arrive and offer additional security and support. The January 6th attack on the citadel of our democracy remains a dark stain on our nation's history. Our committee, both of our committees, have a responsibility to carry out our oversight duties in a serious and nonpartisan way. I look forward to having a productive discussion and getting the answers that the American people deserve, and what we need to do to make sure that reforms are put in place to prevent an attack like this from ever happening again. And with that, I will turn it back over to Chairwoman Klobuchar.